Welcome back. This is Billy with Coach Dooley's List. And once again, if you are enjoying these coaching videos, please like and subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow along on all of our social media platforms. Today, I have the honor and the pleasure of being here at Lumpkin County High School with assistant baseball coach Jack Lowry. Coach Lowry, thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely.
And most of the time, these are planned. You found out about an hour ago that I was going to be here. And just so everybody knows, my first high school coaching experience was with Coach Lowry down at Telfair County. I'll let him tell about his coaching journey, but I learned a lot in my first year down at Telfair. And I'm very, very thankful for you getting me started and also taking the time today.
Absolutely.
So tell everybody a little bit about your coaching journey and how you ended up here at Lumpkin.
It started out at college. My fifth year at Berry playing, I ended up having to have spine surgery on my neck, and I helped coach our JV team. And that's how I ended up in South Georgia. Chad Parker, who was our assistant head coach at Berry, got the head job at Bruton Parker. And I said I was going to follow him down there, and just got married at the same time. And got down there and said, well, I can make money. I got a teaching degree, and ended up putting in at Telfair County as a teacher. And then got a phone call in the middle of the summer saying, you need to come coach Friday's summer game. And I said, why? And they said, well, you're a new head baseball coach. So I was 22 when I got my first job, 23 when the season actually started. So it was a whirlwind of getting married and doing all these things. Stayed there for 5 years, went back north to Gwinnett County, where my wife and I are both from, and coached at Decula for 8 years for John Poindevent. Went to Rabun for 4 years. The first 3 I got out of coaching because my wife became a special ed director, and I needed to be home with the kids. And I got a knock at the door 2 days before the season was supposed to start and asked me to take over as the head baseball coach, which I chose to do. It was an amazing run. We ended up making the playoffs, and second round, a great opportunity, and then some things changed there. And we came to Lumpkin, followed my wife again, special ed director here. And then a couple years ago, talked to when Ryan Zademan got here, decided I wanted to get back into coaching. And that's how I'm here now.
I love it because you have a lot of different perspectives from South Georgia. It's a lot different. Now we're in the mountains. You've been in the metropolis of Gwinnett and everything. Yep. So, in all those different coaching stops and stuff, you've been a head coach, you've been an assistant coach. What is it, that you would say that what advice would you give to a young coach who's just getting involved, being like, hey, what can you do to be a good assistant coach?
I think the most important thing an assistant coach can do is try to think about what they want to be as a head coach, so that they're continuing to follow those ideas and ideals, and find a head coach that's, not 22 or 23 years old when he got started or young, but someone who's been in it for a while that's willing to invest time in you. But as an assistant coach, to me, the biggest word that comes is loyalty, no matter what it is, to the program and to the coach, and most importantly, to the kids.
I love it. And, kind of leading into that, just jump right into being a head coach too. A lot of I can edit those out. A lot of assistant coaches obviously go into it realizing, hey, they want to be a head coach. Some of them get involved and they go, I don't want to be a head coach anymore. But for those that do, what advice would you give to anybody who says, hey, I definitely want to be a head coach? What should I be able to know?
I think one of the biggest things is learn everything that you can, because what hit me the most at 23 was not the baseball side of it. It was, how many baseballs do you order? What about uniforms? What about the gloves? And then where I was in South Georgia, it was very different from what I was used to coming out of Gwinnett. Played at Meadow Creek High School. But I think, again, if you can find a mentor, which I got to find after 5 years of being a head coach with John Poindevent at Decula, and I learned so much from him. But the biggest thing is don't take a job just so you can have the HC next to your name. Find a job where you, the administration, the athletic director are all on the same page so that you can move forward and you'll have the support you need. Because no matter how much you think you've learned, when you become a head coach, there's things that you don't think about and that come along, and then all of a sudden you're having to make those decisions. But the biggest, on top of that, when you make the decisions, stick by them and run with it and just continue to get after it. And then on top of that, as a head coach, what I've always say to parents is, I'm going to treat your kids the same way that I treat mine. You may not agree with how I treat mine, but I'm going to treat them the same way I would my own children.
No, I love that. And, again, having coached down in a lot of different places. Again, I have some very fond memories of us just spending, 3 months together, with doing my student teaching down there with you, but thinking back over your years of coaching, you can tell 1, 2, however many you want. What's some of your favorite coaching stories?
Well, one of my early ones has to do with you.
Okay.
We were in the middle of a game in the region, and an umpire comes up to me and says, Coach, if you don't get that kid over there to calm down and stop talking, we're going to throw him out. And I said, well, what kid are you talking about? He said, the one with has got his pants hiked up and everything else. I said, that's not a kid, that's a coach. I said, but I'll get him and take care of it and everything else. And I remember coming to you, you're like, man, I'm sorry. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. No big deal. But
I used to get excited.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. That was a big one. My memories at Rabin were really cool because I never thought I was going to be a head coach again.
Right.
And the opportunity I had with some really, really cool kids. One that sticks out for me there was a young man that played a linebacker on our football team, was a catcher for me. And I'm sitting in the locker room on my way out after a game, and he's already walked out, and I'm fixing to walk out. And he stops his truck right there in front of me, gets out, and comes and bear hugs me and squeezes me and everything else. Coach, I did it. And he had got accepted to West Point, to the military academy. And we had won the game, but that was more important. That was something I always think about there because, again, most of the kids that we coach aren't going to go on to play baseball somewhere else, but they're going to hopefully be great men in communities and, most importantly, great fathers.
No, absolutely. And most coaches might go 30 years and never coach anybody going into any service academy.
Right.
So, too, I know what it takes I don't know what it takes to get in there, but I know what kind of kid it takes, which is really, really cool. So let's jump right in. We're going to do a little rapid fire.
All right.
No context, just answers.
Okay.
Go right through it. All right. I'm coming to town. I love going to eat. What's the best place to eat here in Lumpkin?
I've actually enjoyed Seven Pie. It's a new restaurant, a pizza place that's got a mixture of a little bit of everything else. So Seven Pie.
Seven Pie. I will be going there. Have you ever had a pregame hype song to get you fired up? What would it be?
Oh, let's see. Probably something from Tupac, anything from his days. Most people don't know that about me, but I went to Meadow Creek High School, so a lot of my music comes from the rap side of things. Jeezy is another one that I learned from South Georgia and some of his songs.
Barker down there.
So we got to learn those. But in this day and age, I just try to stay as chill as I can and relax and just try to stay calm and make decisions.
So no more hype. It's just stay even
let's
keel.
Just stay even now.
Who's the best coach you ever coached against? Any sport?
Best coach I ever coached against.
I have
a lot of respect for Paul Glass at Jeff Davis. When I first got there, it happened to be his summer game that we were playing against them, and I didn't know what I was doing. He was looking at me like a young kid and everything else, and asked me some questions. And I asked him, I said, Coach, just be honest with me. Like, do we have a chance to do anything here or not? And he said, Jack, it hasn't been done there in a long time, but you have some talent. And the funny thing with him was we going further into it. We ended up beating them a couple times in my first couple of years. We had pretty good teams. And then, again, years down the road, I'm at Rabin, and I get a phone call from South Georgia, and it's him asking me for my detailed notes and everything else that I have for scouting because they were fixing to play a team out of our region. I told him, I said, Paul, all you got to do is get online. I said, Game Changer, they got everything open for everybody else. And he's like, I can't figure that out. You send me your stuff. I said, okay, I'll send it to you. But I've always had a lot of respect for him, the fact that he stayed there and what he's done to build that program. So I would say him.
I've never met him in person. I actually spoke to him on the phone a couple of weeks ago about building a youth program, which was really, really cool. So I need to get down to Hazelhurst, see him. Do you have a pregame ritual?
It's probably kind of a weird one. I feel like I need to pee twice before a game. For whatever reason, I've done that since I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and it still follows some now. Some days it's not a big deal, but other times I just feel like it, for whatever reason, I got to get it done. Or maybe just the fact that we don't have bathrooms in our dugouts in high school, pretty much. So one of those, that's probably it.
If it hits you in the fourth inning, there's nowhere to go. Who's the best player you ever coached against?
Oh man, being in Gwinnett, we saw a lot of good ones, and up in our region up here now, a lot of great guys. The one that sticks out to me is Matt Olson. We're playing at our place at Decula, and we're in our first base dugout, and we threw a change up. And if you've been around Decula, everybody knows the pine trees in the back, and he hit one over the pine trees and landed in the yard on the other side of the road. And he hit it, and he goes, and he just, nothing to be rude or anything, he goes, wow. And I thought,
when you impress yourself, that's pretty.
I thought that was pretty impressive, but he was a darn good one. As they had plenty of them at Parkview that came out of there, so that was one that hits.
For sure. So, well, Coach, listen, I appreciate you stepping out, taking the time today. Always great to see you, and we need to do it again soon.
Absolutely, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it, man.